Hi, Tim Bigham back again this week for Traders Exclusive, and finally having that long-awaited sell-off. Certainly, I've been looking for it for probably too long here, certainly too early calling for it, but getting back down to levels that probably the market will, I think, find somewhat neutral here. You know, last year we had about a 30-some% move generally in stocks with only about a 4 to 5% earnings growth, so that big multiple expansion was what drove the market. With now tapering on the table, not only here but overseas, we saw big rate hikes in Turkey. We're seeing rate hikes across the board, really around the globe here, as inflation's starting to take hold. Maybe not here in the U.S. and some of the more developed countries, but certainly emerging markets feeling the effects of high inflation. So putting a brake on that easy money policy, which means a compression in those PE multiples more towards that kind of 15 level, which, given the fact that we're looking, maybe for about 110 earnings on the S&P generally, puts us somewhere, around that 1650 level, maybe 1750 if we get a little bit higher PE around 16. So somewhere around that level, I'd be a buyer. So looking for maybe about another 5% drop from here. So almost that 10% kind of correction that we really have not seen in many a year. Looking at some individual names, certainly Google on the news, not only earnings after the close today, but also news out that they sold Motorola Mobility. That stock is up sharply at 11.30. I'm actually selling the front month strangle on that for about $64. I think the up move today has taken some of that, upside earnings potential out of the stock price. So I'm just looking to sell that. I'm buying some out of the money wings here, the 1170s and the 1100. So basically receiving about 45 bucks for, that trade net, and we'll see how that one fares. Going forward, Apple, another one, broke down below 500 today post earnings. I'm selling it out of the money put spread on what I call the icon level, that 45 level that he had tweeted that he was a buyer at, that it's a no-brainer. But I look for some support somewhere around here, but looking out selling the February 485, 480 put spread, bringing in about $1.20 net credit on that trade. So looking for Apple to, maybe not head higher from here, but certainly maybe meander around. I've got about 3% downside cushion in case I'm wrong. And, looking at about a 3 to 1 kind of return to risk profile. So making about 30% on that trade if it does work out. Generally, I think the market will probably, remain range bound here. I was looking for a pullback. We finally got it. And I think we're kind of fairly valued at tapering in effect, but free money not off the table. That'll cushion the downside. I think valuations finally being challenged here and looked at, that maybe, just blindly paying anything for earnings maybe isn't the game in town. So I think that, 18 kind of 30 level to the upside on the S&P will hold. And as I said, somewhere around probably 1700 to the downside. So I'd use that as kind of my trading range, sell rallies, buy dips. And I think it will be kind of a, stock pickers market, a go nowhere year going forward in stocks. So until next week, Tim Bigham from somewhat warmer Chicago today. As always, keep those position sizes in place and those stops going. Take care.